You so messy. He-
Oh, look at it. Whoa.
What is popping, y'all?
What's up? What's
Yeah,
up?
we are definitely back in the building
Back in the building.
with another episode of Shift Real Talk Tuesdays.
Right. We haven't said Shift Real Talk Tuesdays in a minute. But this is the podcast where we talk about love, life, and relationships.
Yes, it is.
And I'm excited about tonight's topic because we're going to give a shout out to a very popular podcast called Tonight's Conversation. We love like the questions people ask, and we wanted to get in on some of that. So what we did was we decided that on this episode, we're going to respond to some of the some of tonight's conversation questions.
Yeah,
right?
it's like we're gonna be a part of the panel outside of the panel.
Outside.
Be the panel. You know what the funny part was? We started doing this, we have this thing we call Shift Love Ball. It's where you dress up, and you bring your mate, your spouse, and you come out and enjoy a night out with your mate. But the way we did it was we would have them write the questions on a QR code, and the QR code would be anonymous, and it would display on the screen, or we had a projector screen, and it would display out. But what we did, we didn't go public with it because we felt that it was like private. We didn't want to display private information over the.
And that's when Facebook and everything first started. So, it was
so
still,
we just started it, man.
people
but
were
we
still like real, like trying to figure it out. So we didn't want to put their business out. So we didn't go public.
So we didn't go public with it. But to see the idea, and they're doing a great job.
Love
it. I like, it's like us. Some of the cursing I don't agree with, I don't like. But that's, but hey, look, they get in and they get dirty. So sometimes it's like, this is the way they communicate. But we just kind of wanted to get in on it a little bit because it's been popping up on our walls.
We started following them, so we're gonna get a lot of pop ups. So tonight we are going to respond to tonight's conversation, and we're gonna give people a little bit of time to come in. Listen, the thing is, we want you guys not only just to to be honest, we want you to share, but we want you to share with purpose. We don't want you to just share. We want you to share if this content means something to you and you know that somebody. Like I know somebody that this will help. So send it out to those people so we can get it in.
The main thing, y'all, we want you to subscribe to the channel. The nation, man, we want y'all to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Shift Real Talk TV.
Shift Real Talk TV. Please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get 500 more subscriptions, and we will at least be at the mark where we can, we'll be, we'll be relevant.
It'll reach more people.
Yeah, we'll reach more people. So we need 500. We need 500 shares. 500 subscriptions. We need it. We're asking for it.
We're not begging though. Come on.
No, we asking for it. This is we need. We need y'all to come on in. Yes, we do.
All right, so this is where we at with it. We're going to go ahead and just start this first question, and then as people come in, they'll be able to kind of like, get in on it. And if you have anything you want to say as, a response to some of these questions, feel free to put it in the chat, okay?
Mr. John, we want you to subscribe to the channel, please, man. We need you. We asking for 500.
Hello. How you doing, John?
We asking for 500 subscribers, and we need you to knock it down to $4.99, all right? Go to the YouTube channel and subscribe. We need you to subscribe. Okay, cool.
All right, so y'all ready for the first question?
Are you ready for the next comedian?
First question. All right, let's get it.
My question is, I've been married for 10 years, been with him for 13. He came out a year ago. He's into his feminine side, and as a family, we support him. But as we're moving on, I'm seeing that I am not. I'm holding that betrayal against him, and I can't proceed in the relationship. I still want to support him,
Hold on
but
1 second.
I don't know about the relationship. When I got into the relationship, I told him I was bisexual. I told him all my uglies and all that other stuff. And I feel like there's a betrayal.
Wow.
Question number one hit it, didn't it?
We had to start with the
Get down with the
the
down,
get
because this
down.
is shift real talk where we talk real raw and we get down with the get down. We talk a lot of shift,
Yes.
but we can back it up with the word. Now let's go.
There are so many dynamics to this question. There are so many dynamics. The dynamic that sticks out with me the most is that, okay, after 13 years, and you decide to explore another side of your desires and your likes for something else, someone else. Now, because I dealt with this as a when I was dating. I wasn't married at the time, but I was dating, and I dealt with a young woman, and she came and told me that she was gay, and this
Really?
was, huh?
You did?
Yeah. I couldn't compete with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel bad, but the thing was, it was like, if you're married to somebody who comes out and say that they're gay, then what you say is like, okay, what is wrong with me? We're married.
Mm-hmm.
You made a commitment to me. So what you start thinking is like, okay, is there something wrong with me? So the dynamic that goes out there, there's anger, there's disappointment, there's mistrust that goes in somebody's head that has to be told this information. And a lot of times, relationships that go that way do not survive because, we already know your interest is not even in not just me, but me being a woman, or, like not her, me per se, but, her being a woman. So, and your desire is to be with men. That is something that most people will not try to compete with. I mean, biblically, it's like, those sexual desires are not even, they're not right according to the scripture. That those sexual desires are not right. So now you got to not only deal with being angry, then not only not dealing with it being right, but if you came out 13 years, this lady said they've been together for 13 years. Mm-hmm. So in the midst of 13 years, it's either you lied to her in the beginning, like you was dealing with this the whole time, or you went through this while you were together. So there was a level of either you coming into the situation like that, or you cheating or doing something that made this interest grow to going this long without saying anything. You know what I'm saying? So
well, just to put a little context on it, when I watched the whole video, one thing that she did say was, because they asked the question, basically paraphrasing, did you notice anything before he came to you and said these were his desires? And for the most part, she said, yeah. When she said, when I look back, I was like, yeah. So basically what that tells me is that sometimes when we want what we want, we overlook the red flags. We don't look at what it is that the truth is, because we substitute the truth for a lie, because the lie or the thing that you overlook kind of gives you more, it supports what you want more than to actually look that thing in the face, know what the truth is, and make a decision saying, no, this is something I know that in the future, because the decisions we make today are the things that shape our future. So in the future, this is not going to be good. But even in that, with the young lady, she said her whole thing was she felt betrayed. The betrayal she felt came from the fact that she felt like she told him everything from the beginning, and had he told her, then maybe she would not have been, I guess, either in the situation, or she would have been able to make better decisions in the marriage, or maybe not have been married. The thing is, why did he have to tell you in order for you to make an informed decision on something that was already present and evident from the very beginning? So that's my thing. Sometimes we make those decisions. God gives us warning. My husband and I was just talking about this the other day. God loves us so much. He warns us. He gives us signs. And not even signs and wonders, but he allows things to happen while we fresh in stuff or before we even get in stuff to show us. He said he'll make a way of escape so we won't get trapped up in that thing. But what we do instead is we ignore it. And that ignorance is what causes a lot of demise in these relationships.
And then on top of that, like, you know, the kids, you know, what happens with the kids now that the dynamic has changed. You know, you got kids involved. So now you got to tell the kids, hey, you know, this is what's going on. And, you know, that is definitely a level of shock that some people can't fathom. And to go to that type of shock, could you imagine? You know what I'm saying? Just to stay, you know, in the doctor's office, and you know they're trying to revive you, and the impact of that shock, poof. You know what I'm saying? When they put those two things on you,
make the body jump.
Yeah, it make the whole body jump. So could you? That's what I picture, like getting that type of news after all of this time. It's like your body. You know what I'm saying?
That trauma.
Yeah, that trauma, that your mental is like you know, that big jump. So it's like, you know, it's something that, you know, that it's hard to deal with like that. So normally, and that's like, that happens a lot. That's common. You know, for some reason it's very common in the culture. It's very common to, you know, what a lot of people go through, and they decide that they want to go another way, and this is the way that a lot of people are going. I mean, you know, but it's sad because, you know, wow, you know, what changes your what is that changes your desire to now want to, after being in a marriage, you know, and the marriage is supposed to, you know, the bed is undefiled. You know what I'm saying? There's a level of respect for the bedroom. You know what I'm saying? And we get this, you know, what we say, the bed is undefiled. That means to us, in our head, that means we can do anything nasty in the bedroom because it's, you know, but that defile means like a level of respect. So and it's honorable in the eyesight of God. So you're not doing it in a sinful manner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's because when you're sinning, you're defiled.
Yeah, when you're sinning, you're defiling it. So you're not doing it in a sinful manner, but there's a level of respect and there's a level of honor for God. So if you are in a situation where you're honoring God, then you just decide to just turn away from that because of your own fleshly desires. You know, here's another decision that we make that affects everybody around us, and sometimes we don't think about that because we're really trying to fulfill our own level of desire or our own flesh.
And at the end of the day, we have to also understand and remember that the marriage union was originated by God Himself. So when we talk about changing the way God originally designed marriage to be, then we have to understand that we're going to come up against a lot of things that were not meant in the marriage. Like when I was listening to that, it sounded like a lot of confusion. Well, I told him already that, you know, I was bisexual, but I'm marrying him. So in his mind, what are the possibilities that he's thinking? You know, whenever she's around certain people, it could go so many different ways. And what confusion does is it causes a whole bunch. It's almost like a spider web. It's like a whole bunch of like mixed, entangled pieces just all over the place. And when you try to pull, you know what I thought about? Like the chords. My husband he's a musician, so he has a lot of chords that go along with a lot of the equipment. And like when those chords are not properly wrapped, and you know what happens is
junkie?
No. But what happens?
My clothes ain't wrapped up next.
I wrapped them up nice for you.
Okay.
But what happens are when I was trying to take them apart to wrap them up, it was a lot of like, and it got so frustrating because I'm trying to pull piece and I'm trying to make sure I don't mess the cord up or pull something out, you know. So the thing is, when it's a lot of entanglement and a lot of pieces that are just wrapped around and all that stuff, it causes for more frustration. It causes for more irritation. It causes for a lot of things that are not meant for marriage, because marriage is a beautiful union that God created. Absolutely. And we have to make sure that regardless of whether we love people, like as Christians, we don't hate people who have decided to be in same-sex marriages and stuff. We don't. That's a misconception. I think what happens is we just don't know how to say it in a way that people will hear it. So it's almost like we say it in a defensive manner. And it's like, no, I have people that I really truly love that are in those lifestyles, but that doesn't mean that I have to go against the word of God, because after all else, we here, especially at Shift, we believe in the word of God, even when it's stuff that we ourselves are doing and God says no. We have to acknowledge God before we acknowledge anybody and anything else. So when it comes down to that, it's other elements in there where you can't truly enjoy the union of marriage and reflect God and his bride when it's like in a done in a way that's not written in the word of God according to how the original plan was. So,
this is John from the couples group. What's up, buddy? He said I would love to hear him sing. No, I don't sing like that. I play the piano.
Oh yeah, he plays.
I plays.
But
So,
he will take a solo.
If I gotta sing,
He will take a
get them vocal
when I say
cords up.
John, he has no shame by taking a solo. Okay. But so
let's go to the next question, man. Let's go to the next. We got a couple that we just kind of wanted to just
next
talk
question,
with.
please.
So I've been dealing with a married man. Okay, I've been dealing with him for 3 years. He's been with his relationship for 20 years, but he's been with his situation for 20 years.
Don't be trying to make it light by saying his situation. He's been married for 20 years. Go ahead.
Yes, and he's been married for 5.
He's been married for 5, okay.
Yes, but he don't wear his wedding ring.
How long until messing with him? You said for 3 years. How long did you until you found out he was married?
The same day. I just want to know why it turns me on.
Oh, why it turns you on that he's married?
Okay.
Wow.
First of all, I saw a lot of disrespect in that question. She minimized their marriage to a situation, although
I don't think she did that by herself.
She may not have done
Because
it by herself, but
she
she's
said he
the
don't
one
wear
that's
his ring.
speaking.
Yeah.
But she's the one that's speaking. So she called it what she felt in her heart that it was a situation. He's been in his situation, and it probably is one, but they're married under God.
No, we get that. But if you in the marriage don't respect the marriage, then how do you expect somebody else who does not care about it to even honor what you don't respect yourself?
That's true.
And if she's saying he's not wearing his wedding ring, then he's not giving it, he's making it a situation himself. But the thing that bothers me, because I see this happen a lot, the thing that bothers me is that what about this young lady gets turned on by a situation, not even a marriage. Mm-hmm. That means that there's supposed to be a level of respect for the institution that God created.
Right.
What inside of her has the need or has the desire to be turned on by a situation that's not hers?
Well, flesh.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's, yeah.
Because think about it. Marriage is a spiritual union. This lady said, I just want to know why I get turned on by the fact that he is married. I'm attracted to him, not because I'm attracted, but because he's married.
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at that, that is not natural. That is not a natural, like that. Let's say this, because it's a spiritual union, that is a spiritual demonic, because the Bible says we battle not with flesh and blood, right? Even in our marriage, when we going through and we arguing, we had to start realizing, whoa, hold up. Because the devil be like, yeah, look at her. Look at her over there. Look what he doing. You know, and it feeds on certain things that we got going on already in our mind, right? He plays on it. So it's a spiritual thing that's happening with this young lady. She said she don't even know why it turns her on. She went to tonight's conversation to figure out why she is turned on by the fact that this man is married.
Yes. Bishop Eugene Lavelle, my brother, how you doing, sir?
Hello, Bishop.
most of the time when you have a woman that gets turned on by another situation is, honestly, obviously there's a level of intimacy that they have going on, but there's something else. There's a situation where most women love to be like to win a challenge. Like, in other words, like if you're in competition with somebody, when you're in competition with somebody else, and you feel in this competition, now mind you, the competition is for validation. And a lot of times when it's like we'll do whatever we need to do to get that validation, whether it's crossing boundaries, whether it's putting ourselves in situations that are compromisable, or either way, they're compromisable and they're uncompromisable. So when we put ourselves in these situations for a level of validation, or a level of to be seen, or a level of of wanting to be valued by somebody, it doesn't matter who it is. It matters the fact that no matter who I gotta go and outdo to get it, then this is what I'm gonna do, and that comes with more so a deficiency within yourself. Because a lot of times when we've been abandoned, when we've been left, when we had situations, growing up, there were certain things that we, had to deal with on our own. So our coming out is like, look, I got to do what I got to do. I don't care who I got to cross to do it, but this is what I got to do to get what I need to get. And it's sad because, like I said, it doesn't, the boundary, there are no boundaries when it comes to people's level of validation or what they'll do to get this. This is why you got to be so careful, and especially men, because sometimes we put ourselves in situations for a 5-minute or 3-minute pleasure, and we don't know what we're getting ourselves into because we don't know where this person is sometimes. And sometimes that's why I'm very careful. I say I make better decisions because you never know what measure a person will go to make sure that they get validation. You never know what measure that they will go to. Some people will make phone calls. They will call your wife on the phone. You know what? Yeah, he here right now. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure that this does not stop. So they'll do whatever it takes, whatever they need to do to make sure that this feeling keeps going on, this action keeps happening. So you got to be very careful. You have to be very careful. This is why I make better decisions.
When you say be careful, what do you mean?
Meaning, like, you can't allow feelings. You can't allow because it's easy. Because sometimes, I promise you, it's easy to go out there and be married and still do certain things. It's easy. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It's easy to do. It's easy. Some people would rather just have the physical commitment, not even, I wouldn't say the physical action with somebody and send them back home, and because they don't want to be in a committed relationship. You have some people there's some people out there that would do that. Some people out there that sleep with married people and don't mind. Look, I ain't got no commitment with him. This ain't, and I know it won't go nowhere because guess what? He can get in trouble or I can get in trouble. So we just gonna keep this where it is at a secret level. And this happens. But the thing is, sometimes when you intimately involve yourself with people, what happens is now there's a level of possession that goes on. There's a possession, meaning like, this is, you take ownership, no matter, even if that person don't belong to you, but because you emotionally connected yourself, physically connected yourself to somebody, then these are the dangers these are the dangers that you take yourself or put yourself in, because now this person is taking ownership because, for some reason, when they're getting this feeling and they're getting it from this one individual, no matter whether this individual is taken by somebody else, and even in a lifetime commitment, you believe that this person is yours, no matter what.
And you know what? While you were talking, I was thinking too. I was like, you're right, because I hear a lot of people say sneaking around is fun.
Yeah.
And then you got the female that feel like she got one up on your wife. Obviously, if he chose me, why he got somebody, then it must be something about me, So you get that validation, you get that fun, You don't have to worry about all the stuff the wife has to worry about. You don't have to worry about like being that covering for him. You don't have to worry about when he is showing his true self at home and some things that he's doing that you have to be like, okay, babe, wait a minute. Let's rethink this. When he have to make real decisions and you may not always agree and you got to kind of like disagree, he may not like that, but then he'll go over there to the this man at my job, you say side piece. Even saying it. Oh my God. But anyway, you'll go over to the side piece and you don't have to worry about anything. You at the hotel. You don't have to worry about bills, mortgage, lights. You don't have to worry about children. You don't have to worry about providing. All you have to do is worry about giving her a couple of dollars here and there and enjoying yourself. But that's until somebody catches feelings for real, and it gets serious. When it gets serious, that's when things start going real bad, real fast. Because being in a relationship with somebody outside of your marriage is supposed to be no strings attached. It's supposed to be nothing serious. But then what happens when it gets serious? So the attraction I can see, but it's look, about, I got your man type stuff.
But we have to realize, and I say dangerous, and I don't say that lightly. Dangerous because the world today, I wouldn't even say today, just the world period, sex has become gods to people.
Idols, yes.
Sex has become idols to the point where that's what relationship is about. It's not about today. It's not even about getting to know the person. It's not about getting to understand who the person is. It's about getting to know the person enough to have sex. Because to be honest with you, that's the end result for a lot of people who are in relationships. It's the end result. It's the beginning result. It's the middle result. It becomes the result and it is more prevalent today in today's culture because this is what sells. They use sex symbols to even sell merchandise. This is how powerful this is. Almost like it's a god. You know what I'm saying? What we've done perverted what God made to be honorable for the institution of marriage. Right. We done converted it to now it being the thing that actually even markets. Sex is what markets so many people who are selling whatever. They use sex symbols. Yeah. And the thing is, this is even on social media, this is what a lot of people watch. They won't watch. Some people don't watch. And this is why, we are tuning in with the talk thing. Tonight's conversation, because this is something that we do as well. But the thing is, a lot of times people don't turn to that first. They go straight to, they'll flip that to look at somebody who, who's on TikTok or who is on Instagram, and they're showing their body parts, and they're showing and these are people who are just sitting there showing their body parts, and they got 500 million followers because this is what they do on a daily basis. Yeah, so it's and then when you look at these other platforms and stuff like that, they don't have as many views as the people who are selling sex or selling body things that can be pleasing to the eye. And it's like, this is the thing that we got to really be careful of, because these are the things that are used to even, and to break up a lot of families. Because the thing is, the enemy knows our weakness. He knows what not even just our weaknesses, he know what we like. Yeah. So what is he going to do? He's going to keep putting it in your view. He's going to keep putting it, and after a while, if you keep watching it, you know what you're going to do? You're going to now start looking to respond to what you consistently looking at, because you like what you see. You like what you're going to go, you either going to buy it or you're going to sneak to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which makes it dangerous, because it starts from something as little as just looking at something that turns you on.
It starts with something as little as a seed, which is your words.
Absolutely.
You have somebody that just comes along and say the right thing, and all of a sudden you in love. And the deficit of love these days, people need to be careful, because you end up falling in love with a beautiful face, and that person is obsessive of you, and what comes with that is detriment. But we have to remember, we throw around phrases like love is love. The heart wants what the heart wants, even coming down to the point of somebody else's husband. helping somebody else defile their marriage because I want what I want. I mean, I can't help that, I fell in love. But the thing is, it comes down to one of the fruit. It's called self control. It is possible. It is possible to control our desires. I was telling my husband this the other day. I said, because we are spiritual beings, and God says before we were created formed in our mother's womb, he knew us. We existed in the spiritual realm already. Mm-hmm. Now, because of that, our flesh, you know how sometimes people, when they in their flesh, it seems they very immature. They argue, fight, cuss you out, all of that stuff. Want what they want, can't help what their desires are, lusting after and gotta have it type stuff. Throwing temper tantrums when they can't get what they want, which is another form of abnormal use. All right. So basically, the flesh is only as old as the day we were born.
Absolutely.
In eternity, the spiritual realm, that little span of time, can you imagine how young the flesh really is? And that's why flesh is so ignorant. That's why flesh is so immature. So when we go after the flesh, when we say the heart want what the heart want, and we just dealing in our flesh, we got to think about a lot of decisions we are making are very, very immature decisions because the flesh can't help but be immature.
Absolutely.
Spirit is mature. Flesh is not.
Let's go to the next. We had a couple that we just kind of wanted to do. And we're going to talk about.
All right, next question,
Let's go
please.
to the next question.
I was dating a guy who is a man of God for 3 years. We broke up. He said he didn't want to marry me because I didn't fit his weight requirement in the 3 years we were together. I thought he was my husband. I fell in love with him. When we broke up, I blocked him 7 days. I wanted to go back, so then he blocked me for a month. It's been 3 months, no contact, and now he wants to be back in my life.
Can I ask a contextual question before we get to it? When you say weight restriction or weight preference, he wanted you to be bigger or smaller?
Smaller.
Smaller, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a contextual question. When did you find out that you weren't in the weight requirement? Was that after y'all broke up or during he kept telling you that he wanted you to be smaller?
Well, I made the mistake and signed an agreement that I would lose.
Oh, wow. She said she made a mistake and signed an agreement that said she would lose weight.
They, now that I'm looking at it, like I said, I really look at it because this is something that we like to do. We like to hear the people's concerns and questions, and we like to kind of indulge in it. So we love to do this, but it bothers me that I listen to some of the questions that people are allowing themselves to get into, and it's like it is so important for us to realize how broken people are, because only broken people allow themselves to get in compromising situations like that, because there's no way that a person, see, when you sign a contract, that's the only contract that in any type of relationship that we should be getting in is the commitment that we make with God. You don't make a commitment, something like that, for an appearance with somebody else. You don't do that. But you have to be in a low self. And a lot of times this is what happens when we are in a low self in our emotions, when we're in a low place in our being and in our thinking. This is what we attract. We attract where we are. We attract who we are. Mm-hmm. So sometimes if we're not happy with ourselves, then we're going to get with somebody who's going to make us compromise that situation that we're feeling about ourselves. So this is why it's so important that we get ourselves, that we date ourselves, that we get to know who we are, so that we get to be our full selves, because there's no way that you could be in a healthy relationship and you got to compromise who you are. Big, small, medium, tall, short, whoever you are in any relationship, you gotta be able to be yourself. And if you're not able to be yourself, then you will not be able to be yourself.
And that was good. If you're not able to be yourself, then you will never be able to become who you are created to be. And okay, a few things. First of all, she said, I'm dating a man of God, a
Yes.
Christian man, a
Yes.
man in the church. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Okay, well, let's be honest, John. You're right. It's giving me a headache, John. Too. You're right. It is giving me this. This is mind-boggling because most men of God. And first of all, just because you are a man of God in the church or that don't make you a man of God.
You will know them by their fruit.
That don't make you that because again, there's no way you represent God that way. There's no way. And I think I've listened to this one and they were saying that there's nothing wrong with a man wanting what he wants and how he wants it. And I think if y'all go back and watch that, this is what they were saying. There's nothing wrong with a man wanting what he wants. And what's the problem? Because women, sometimes women want a man to make six figures, or they want him to be tall, 6 feet, 6'2", and have aesthetics of a muscles like me.
Right. That's right, baby.
You know what I'm saying? They want some aesthetics. But the thing is, you can desire that. And we tell people all the time, you know what I'm saying? Because we make this wish list. And we make these wish lists off of fictional desires of ours because of sometimes we want what we want. Like some people want a brand new car. But guess what happens though? We may not be able to afford this Mercedes Benz. We want a Mercedes. We want it because different. And the thing is, we want this, but we won't put ourselves in the position to go get this thing. So I'm saying this to say this. Sometimes when we desire certain things, you can be with what you want, but that don't mean that's what you need.
And I agree with what they if they said men and women should be able to have what they want. Okay. If you I know some men, I have a friend he is so skinny, but he loves only women with a lot of meat on their bones. People have preferences. My issue with this is if she was here, I would say, sis, listen, you got into a contractual relationship with somebody who from the rip told you that you were not his preference, that you were not good enough. And until he gave you 3 years to lose weight. And after those 3 years, he realized he did not want to marry you because you didn't lose weight. The thing about it is you went for it. You agreed to it. What would cause us as women to agree to something so egregious as that? We want love. We want the love of a man. We want the touch and to be valued by. And this is just how it is. It's because it's so many situations out there now, especially in the homes now that the fathers are not there. Women are still looking to be daddy's little girl. And if it's not daddy at home, the father, it's going to be daddy. It's going to be him. So we will fall for certain things that we should not fall for because daddy wasn't there to teach us our value and our worth. He wasn't there to help us to understand this is what you do. This is what you don't do. You are beautiful. You can do this. If you ever need anything, you don't have to rely on dealing with the least and the left out. Come to me. I'm your father. I got you type stuff. A lot of households did not have that. And I thank God that I did have that. I thank God that I had it because when you don't have it, you go looking for love. And what your mentality as a child was when she first realized she did not have the love that she wanted. So you have this fictitious idea of what love is. And with this young lady, it could have been that, somebody in her life may have told her something like that. And she took it and received it. And now here she is with a guy that's saying it. And she like, okay, cool. I can do that. I want to be loved. I can do that. If you're going to love me, I can do this. And it's not just weight. Some women go through different things in relationships because they want to be loved. And that desire to be loved is a very, very powerful desire. And that's what I saw. It's like, wow, she signed a contract. She blocked him, tit for tat. He blocked her. And after he was done, whatever he was doing for those 3 months, now he want to come back.
Well. Look at this like this, because this is the thing that bothers me. A lot of these, and trust me, I love the conversation. I like it a lot. But the thing that really like sends me somewhere is that a lot of these people who are coming up with these questions or coming up with situations that they put themselves in are not married.
Wow.
They are not married. So they are in situations where they can literally just walk away.
Yeah.
They are in situations where they can truly just walk away. If this is not, the thing is, most of them really don't know what they want. Not even just don't know what they want. They don't even know who they are to know what they want.
Right.
So it's like you are coming up asking questions about situations that you are literally putting yourself in. And we was talking about this last week. It's like, the signs are there. The signs are there. The signs are there. The instruction was given. Do not, love yourself. Love yourself. The signs are there. And what we do is we keep pushing past those warning signs. We're knocking it's like when the police put over a scene and they put the yellow tape around the scene. It's like they're moving the tape out the way, knowing if they go into this area, they're going to see something that they do not want to see.
Going to the crime scene.
You're going into the crime.
On purpose.
You're going into a area that was closed off. You know what I'm saying? This area was closed off. It's prohibited. You're going into a prohibited area, and we are taking the tape off of the scene to still keep walking straight. And it's like, come on. And like I said, it's not. I think what we have to do is more teaching on, okay, this is what dating is, or this is what actually, you're not even ready to date. If you're literally accepting the at least,
the bare minimum.
If you're accepting the at least, then you're not ready. And it's okay to not be ready. But most people, because they don't like to be alone, they don't like to be, they don't want to feel abandoned, because this only triggers what they're feeling inside. Yep. So what they do is they take what, I'm going to take, hey, look, I'm getting this feeling that I need. I'm getting this a feeling of love. I'm getting this feeling of intimacy that I really feel that I need right now, because I haven't been hugged when I was little. My love language was not spoke to. My dad wasn't there when I grew up. My mom wasn't there. My grandmother raised me. Whatever the situation is, those situations are determining the decisions that we're making today. And we got to really understand that. If you're going into a relationship, and I hear them say this a lot, if you're going into a relationship and you're looking for that relationship or that marriage to fix your situation, then you're not ready.
You're not ready.
You're not ready, because you got to go in. And this is what most people really need to do. You must go in situations being able to be who you have been designed to be, so that not only that you grow with becoming who you've been designed to be, but the person with you, you guys grow together. Yeah. So there has to be a level of not me making you, because if she wasn't growing, I promise you this rap marriage would be at a stalemate, and it would be a struggle on the both of us.
Right.
But we both are growing daily. We're growing daily. That makes us even research more. Okay, what can we do better? You know what I'm saying? Okay, even if we don't know, we know who to go get the answers from.
Right.
It's that them late night, midnight hours where we get up and we meditate. Those late night hours where we get up and read the word, or we listen to listen to. I listen a lot now to a lot of the Bible stories that are really helping me understand my situation. And it's like you gotta grow daily. You have to grow. If you're not growing, then what you're doing is you're doing a disservice to the relationship or the people that surround you.
You're doing a disservice to yourself, because we have to start doing the work on ourselves. We have to start taking personal responsibility for our own growth, because if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, the thing that we have to also remember is we have to guard our ears. That's a gate to our soul. Absolutely. We have to guard our ears from the things that the ones that supposedly love us are telling us, because I mean, I can't look at her in judgment to say why she go back. Like after 3 months, why she even up here asking this question? Like, should I take him back? That's a valid question, because I know I've been in a situation like that when I would listen to the voice of the person who didn't treat me right in the relationship, and then come back and all the stuff that was right that needed to be said was said, and then it's like I'm confused. Oh my God, absolutely. I'm so confused. And for her to even go up and say, this is my situation, that's very bold. That takes courage, because when you're in them confusing moments, you don't want nobody to know, because you don't want anybody to judge you. You don't want anybody to think you're stupid. You don't want to be embarrassed or feel ashamed about the fact that, man, I'm falling for this again. And the thing is, I like what you said. We have to do more teaching on dating. We have to do more teaching on how to relate, because that's what a relationship is. Two people relating to one another. How do I relate to you when you're going through your ups and your downs, the ebbs and the flows of the relationship? How do we relate? That's what it is.
And you're right. You're right. Patricia said they don't have no standards. But the thing is, it's hard to relate when you're looking to compensate for relating,
to be fixed.
You're looking to be fixed.
You want that next fix.
And fixed is always that 2-minute result. It's always that 3-minute result. And this is what relationships have become today. So you cannot get with people relating when you're looking to physically connect. So you're eliminating the work that needs to be done. And it's easy, man. But let's go on to the next question. So there's one more, so we can keep the train running.
Okay.
Else is aligned in the relationship. Is it okay if you are not sexually compatible?
Well, no.
She said, if everything else is aligned in the relationship, is it okay not to be sexually compatible? I remember this one. She's 25 years old. She's not married, and she's asking a question about being sexually compatible. What is that? What is sexual compatibility?
First and foremost, if you're not connected, you cannot be connected physically if you're not connected spiritually, because the physical act is a spiritual act. That two becoming one is spiritual.
Two becoming one.
That two becoming one is spiritual. So if you're not spiritually connected, if you're not connected outside of the sex, then you're not connected, period. And nothing you do sexually will compensate for you not truly being for you not being connected, because there's some things, if you are connected with this individual, that you can do, and it'll be as like it's the best that you've ever done, because there's a connection. Because you know what comes with that connection? Communication. You know what comes with that that connection? Teaching. You know what comes with that communication? Patience. You know what comes with that communication? Teaching.
The connection, honey.
You know what comes with that communication? Everything. That connection, I mean, everything comes with that spiritual connection, because guess what? When you're connected that way, then you are aligned. And I promise you, that'll be the best 2 minutes that you've ever had.
Why do you keep saying 2 minutes?
I'm just saying, because normally, like when, jackrabbits, I'm just saying, I'm just,
Never mind.
I'm not 2 minutes, but I'm just saying, but I'm just.
All right. So the thing about it is, and why I'm not, I mean, TMI.
Wait, Patricia actually, she said, can I have one without the other? When you are connected spiritually, then you have everything, because everything else aligns. So, but the thing, this is what we do in relationships. We eliminate that part and we try to connect physically. And connecting physically is actually eliminating the whole process of the connection.
I got it. So have you ever seen a movie? We talking about a married couple at this point. You ever seen a movie where the man and the woman, they seem to have had the best time, correct? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. And then when things start going bad in the relationship and the connection is broken because either he's working too much, she don't feel like he's giving enough time and all that stuff, then all of a sudden you see a scene where they're, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And she just laying there like, same man, same woman, broken connection. When you're connected, then it's I'm telling secrets, okay? Being transparent, I'm telling secrets.
Yes.
Me and my husband were not virgins when we got married, okay? We had already sinned before together, okay? Now, I have to admit that in those times, actually I'm not going to even say that, but let me just say, those times of doing it in sin and now it's totally different. Mm-hmm. You can't ask if you're sexually compatible beforehand, because beforehand, anything that the flesh gets that it desires, it's happy about. After, it's like when you finally get into that place. I remember when I first was with my husband on our honeymoon, I felt like I had to get out of my mind that I wasn't sinning. I had to it was like, oh my God, I'm not sinning. Like, this is like not a sin anymore. And once you get past all of the stuff that the flesh brings to the table, then you realize that the moment that you're having with your husband is an intimate moment that is ordained, that has a stamp of approval by God that he created. And I don't know what people truly mean about being sexually compatible, but I know that when you do it in the right context, when the bed is undefiled, there's a different sense of love that comes, in a sense of connection. And you have to have that connection in order to feel the presence of God in those moments too.
Patricia said you cannot have one without the other. They both go together.
They go hand in hand, baby. They go hand in hand.
I believe that you can have a connection without sex, but I believe if you have sex, then you connected the wrong thing.
Oh, talk about it.
Because now you have to keep fulfilling the need. You have to keep fulfilling the need, and then sometime, and in some way down the line, you know, if you keep fulfilling this need that's wrong because you're not connected any other way, then those things will now you're only building the relationship on a physical connection. And that connection does not last only because there's no substance behind that. There's no foundation behind a sexual relationship.
Right.
But if you build it outside of that,
come on,
and then you come together with that, then what you have done is
total
built the foundation.
package.
Yeah, now you got everything together. Yeah. But I believe it's how you build it that makes it come together. Because if you build one without the other, and that one without the other is sex first. Because mind you, this is today's culture. Today's culture says I gotta have sex because first and foremost I gotta see how you gonna be before I marry you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is the trick that a lot of people tell themselves. I gotta buy test the milk before I buy it.
Right.
But the thing is, once you start testing the milk, then guess what happens? You won't buy the cow because you already got the milk.
Yep.
You already got it.
It's like a ball rolling downhill.
And because there is no connection outside of that, then guess what happens? You're looking to be, because everybody looks for that connection.
Yeah.
Because it is way more than sex. I promise you, it is way more than sex. I've had, trust me, in my heydays, I've done it. And I'm not with those people now, because all we had was a sexual connection, and that did not sustain the relationship, because when it came time to talking, there was arguing. We didn't know how to talk. When it came time to working situations out, there was no talking.
Yeah.
But you know what brought us back together? The connection, the only connection that we made.
Wow.
Which was sex. And this is why I believe that it is so important to not start it or build that as the foundation. Because now what you're looking and saying, if we're not compatible here, then we can't be compatible here. Because if this doesn't line up, and this is the wrong thing to line up.
And trust
me. This is the wrong thing to measure your relationship off of if we're not sexually connected.
Right. Then you end up 17 years in a relationship with no ring, and then by them 17 years, them knees start creaking, and you can't do the things you used to do.
Yeah.
Your back up, your back, my neck, my back, you know.
Yeah,
and you going through all of this, and you spent the best 17 years of your life Performing. That's another thing. When you build your relationship off of a sexual connection, it's a lot of performance involved.
Yeah.
And I remember having to get that thing out of my mind too. Like, I have to stop performing now and actually learn how to connect with my husband without thinking about, I got to do this the best and I got to make sure I do. I mean, you still want to enjoy the moment with your spouse, but when you not married, you performing. You trying to put on the best performance too. It's got to be the best of everything. And performances are not real. They what you do to make sure that you're remembered, to make sure that that person comes back home, which is really not their home because y'all not married. But all of these things happen, and mentally we got to be careful because it's doing something up here to our self-esteem. It's doing something up here to our confidence. It's doing something up here to our security. We're doing it upside down. And when you do anything upside down, it never stands. It never stands.
Check this out. Sexual connections are performances.
Right.
Spiritual connection is the posture.
Oh, the posture.
It's
I
the
love the
posture.
posture.
It's the posture.
We have one more question, Pastor Jay.
We have one more
We
question.
will
You wanna
have
do
one
it?
more question. Play the next question, please.
And my question is, at what point does fighting for a relationship becomes commitment? And at what point does it become settling for less than what you deserve?
By relationship, you mean husband or boyfriend?
Husband, I'm married. I'm in a long distance relationship.
How long is the distance?
He's in Nigeria.
How long have you guys been married?
We married in 2022.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm 54, he's 36.
You ain't sent him no money, have you? You ain't sent him no money, have you?
I send money every month. I've been there 4 times.
You've been there 4 times? Okay. Now, how many times has he been here?
He hasn't been here.
Lord, touch my people.
I didn't try to laugh. That was not a situation to laugh.
That is not.
It
that
happens
is sad.
so
That's sad.
often.
That's sad. Again, we was just talking about this, that this is what we settle for because of the places that we're in. And it's like, you'll take, she said, fight for anything. First of all, the blessings of the Lord maketh rich and addeth no sorrow. You don't have to fight for a relationship. You don't have to fight for a marriage. It is not supposed to be a fight. We fight the thing that's fighting against us.
Right.
But we don't fight to be in the situation.
We need to teach that too, to how to fight the things that are fighting us, not fight each other because those things are showing themselves.
But I truly believe that there's certain situations that we put ourselves in that God had nothing to do with. I truly believe that. That we put ourselves in situations that God had nothing to do with. God tells some of us to go right, and Jonah, prime example, go deliver this message. He said, no, I'm not going. You know why I'm not going? Because I've seen them kill my family. I've seen them do some, they don't deserve to be delivered. I'm going east. I'm not even going that way. And the trouble and the decision that he made not to do, again, he put himself in a situation, and not only himself, but the people that were in the boat with him, he put them in a situation. The boat was about to tear up, literally.
The ship.
It was about to literally tear up. He put himself in a bad situation. So again, when we get in put ourselves in ships, and the storms start coming, and then we say, how are you fighting in a storm? First and foremost.
You know what? Okay, so think about the ship. Jonah was on a ship.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a relationship.
Yes.
And she decided to do her own thing. I think in that video also, Kitty asked her, did you basically hear from God? Like, who told you to marry him? She said, I did. She said, you don't have kids? You don't have kids that was basically like, Ma, no, don't do it. And she was like, yeah, but she wanted to be loved. She was in a electrical wheelchair, had an accident. So it's a lot of things that play a part in why she would be so vulnerable to give herself in marriage to a man who lives in Nigeria, who she sends money to every month, who never comes to where she is. She goes to where he is. And she's been married since 2022 and she's seen him 4 times. Anybody that hears that will say to themselves, oh no. But unfortunately, when you are in a low place, Iyanla Vanzant said this, you date who you are inside. So if you have a problem with who you're dating, really, truly, you have a problem with a version of yourself inside. You're dating yourself.
Yeah.
She's in a low place. She's dating someone who is not even acknowledging her the way she deserves to be acknowledged, because he won't even come across to see her, and she's supposed to be his wife, but he'll take her money every month.
Well, he can't do what she won't allow. You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
He can't do what she, and at 30 years old and you're 50, first and foremost, you've wow. How in the world can you be married and not live with that? That first and foremost, that's not going to work.
Some people do it today. It has been trending.
Yeah, it's trending.
Even people who are married that decide, hey, I want to live here and my husband live in his own house down the street. We could be neighbors, but as long as we don't live together, to each his own. But that's not the way we believe it from what the Word of God teaches us. But we can't make anybody believe anything that they don't believe when it comes down to how God say do it. We can't.
You know. I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what? The world's perception. Man has come up with what marriage should be according to man.
According to man.
And according to the standards that the standards or the lack thereof. Because there's some standards that we have that ain't standards at all. So everything that's not biblical, even today, if you really understood the Bible, now if you look in the Bible and understand the position and the roles, now we've came up with a whole bunch of roles for the wife. You got to cook, you got to clean, you got to do this, you got to carry the duties of a wife. If you look in the Bible, if you look and search the Bible, you do not see those duties. You don't see those duties. You don't, the thing that God created the wife for was for help. He told Adam, I'm going to create a helper suitable for you. He didn't say she's going to cook and clean for you. She's going to wash the dishes. She's going to make sure your clothes is washed. She's going to do it. It was none of that in the Bible. There was none of that. So what we've done was we've put responsibilities on a woman, and God never gave the responsibility to the woman. He gave the responsibility to the man.
So what you trying to say to me?
So what I'm trying to say,
I don't have to do that no more.
What I'm saying, no, you do that because that's what you desire to do. But as the role, I'm saying we got it twisted and we got it mixed up. So this is why a lot of us are putting ourselves in compromising situations, because we done put our own spill and our own barrier of what marriage should be. And then when it's not being done, then what we're saying is you're not being a wife, and this is the very thing that we are doing. You're not a good wife, or you're not a good husband, because we've
according to whose standard?
Because
our
if
standard. Man made that,
exactly,
then whose standard was it? It's so interesting too, because I enjoy some of the things, like I enjoy making sure you eat and all that stuff. But I need for you to start picking up some of the slack when it comes down to cleaning the house with me, because that's not my role anymore. You just said it.
Hey, listen. If you see a need, meet a need. I mean,
see a need, meet a need. Y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, if you see a need, meet a need. But it's not. The point is, it's not your responsibility.
No, it's not.
It
is no longer my responsibility.
Yeah, it never been your responsibility.
So why you ain't tell me this earlier?
Hey, because I had to study to figure. Like, look, when I read that, I said, wait a minute, we done put a responsibility on the wife, but God gave the responsibility to the man.
Wow.
When Eve even was deceived, God didn't say Eve, it was your responsibility because you should have had fruit cooked.
Right. If you had the
If
meat,
you had it cooked
you had
already,
it on the table already.
Yeah, if you had it ready, then Adam wouldn't have had to get it from the serpent.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It was Adam. He went to Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, where art thou?
Where you at, bro?
Where you at? You know what I'm saying? So again,
right.
okay, so listen, y'all. That's right. Help me, Patricia.
We got to figure this
Pick
thing out.
up your own clothes, sir. Pick
up
your own clothes.
Yes. We got to figure this thing out, guys, because it is not too late. If you're in a marriage, and we're going to close with this. If you're in a marriage and you feel like the need for reconciliation, but it seems like you just can't get past certain things, maybe, just maybe, we have to rethink what the roles and what the expectations we put on this marriage. When we can get past and lay our expectations down before God and say, God, this is what I said the marriage should be.
Yeah.
You tell us what you wanted this marriage to be. And when God gives you that, then you will be able to look past all of that other stuff and you will be able to work towards your marriage.
And there are some people that say, hey, look, I'm going to get a job because I'm going to help my husband with the bills. I'm going to do this because I'm going to help my husband do this.
Right.
But it is not your responsibility. But if you desire to help, kudos. I mean, kudos. That's what you
desire to help,
if
babe.
you desire to help, kudos. But again, we should not hold each other accountability for the responsibility that was placed on the man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So that's the whole point. If you're going to help, man, like I said, kudos. Like you get, you know what I'm saying? You get the thumbs up, but don't.
I love this guy.
Yeah. But if you were not able to do that, then that's not my job to hold that over your head and saying you making this hard for me. Because again, the source of us is God. You know what I'm saying? So
You better speak.
God is your provider.
Better speak.
He's your provider. He provided you not only with the provision that he's given you, but the help that he's given you.
Come on here. Speak.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's our time for today, guys.
Listen, y'all. Patricia, all of y'all we need y'all to go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel. We need 500 subscribers on the YouTube channel.
Real Talk TV. Say again. The link is in the comments.
The link is in the comments.
Shift Real Talk TV. Go and subscribe. Y'all listen, that's our time for today. We are on all social media platforms. If you want to hear us riding in your car, whatever the case, just tune in to Shift Real Talk TV. But until next time, same bad channel, same bad place. We love you. My name is Lady Free.
I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And this our time.
Peace.
Thanks for watching.